Hello, Patreon listeners. Thank you so much for your money. Thank you for your support. Thank you very much for listening to us ramble on. It's a semi sort of hungover episode today, but with plenty of good old fashioned laws. We roast a listener called Zack very gently for a story that you'll hear during the podcast itself. We then reminisce about mobile phones in the past, which I'm pretty sure we've done before, but you know what? It's good banter and a very gentle way to remind us all that we're all slowly dying and that our time on this earth is but a blink in the eye of the careless universe. And it's also the last one on the tour. This is the fucking last Sloss and Humprhies on the road from Hubris. The rest will be done in the studio for the foreseeable future until at least fucking September when I piss off to New York. So enjoy and thank you for the support. Sloss and Humprhies on the road.
Muggins and cream and muggins, straight thuggin', living the dream.
And that's our intro.
Fucking muggles.
Tickling the clit inside your head.
We're expecting special guests on the podcast today.
Huh?
The cleaners.
Oh, unbelievable. I've never wanted to scream fuck off in someone's face so much. You would have thought the word no was universal. Like, even if your grasp of English is very small, you'd assume that yes.
There's a couple of words. Help.
Yeah, help.
Taxi.
Epstein.
Run.
Aye. This morning happens all the time. We're in where are we? Cologne.
We're in Cologne.
So we got here yesterday, had a day off yesterday, full day today. So we're in a hotel for 2 nights, which they cannot wrap their heads around, the cleaners.
No.
Staff are very aware. They're like, you're here for 2 nights. We're like, we are here for 2 nights. And then every 5 minutes the cleaners come and they're like, you check out now? I'm like, no, we're here till tomorrow. I'm like, okay, sorry. And then 13 minutes later, you check out now? I'm not checking out. You don't need to clean my room. And then when we went to get because hotels do that fucking weird thing where, oh, by the way, your card's going to stop working at 12:30 tomorrow because there's nothing we can do to explain to your card that you're here for 2 days because this is unusual. Fine, fair enough. We go down, we get our room keys, and we come back up. The cunts are standing outside our fucking rooms again, being like,
there's a team of them.
You've checked out? You're like, go away.
You know what I think it was because I was lying in bed this morning when they knocked, and I was like, no, I'm good, because I was fucking hungover. I drank a bit last night. And then it's like 10 minutes later, knocking again, and I just was like, is this what you want? I just answered the door and we duds. I was just like, I'm sleeping. This is how I sleep.
I'm a big believer in that it's not flashing or anything close to sexual assault if you just answer fully fucking nude with an erection. When it's the
when
third
you've
time.
said no.
Aye. No. Right, fine. Here, all right, I'm wanking. No, don't leave. Don't leave. Stay there and watch me wank now. This is what you wanted. You want in the room. You're here. Get the do not disturb sign. Stand there and see if you can toss it onto my cock from there. Because clearly you want to be involved.
And then it lands backwards and it's like, please clean me. You're like, damn, now I'm going to wash it again. So I went with just my boxers on, and then she kept coming back with her mates. Like, look at this lad, check him out. Yeah, there's one of the man says the door and he's scuds. Come and have a look. You know what, right? If I was cleaning in a hotel, and then I knocked on the door and they went no, I'd be like, yali.
Yeah,
that's like the fucking perfect. Like, I'm not on commission.
If I worked in a hotel, what I would do is I would only try to make someone's bed once they checked out.
Aye.
I would just go, I'll do it. Because otherwise, if I clean it at 11 just now, right, and I make his beds, and he checks out at 12:30, he's probably going to go in and jump on the bed, right? He's a renegade. He answered the door with an erection. He's clearly going to have another wank. So what I'll do is I'll just not clean until 12:30, and they're like, I love it. It's my favourite room. If I could, I'd clean it twice a day. And you know what? I can. Please let me clean your room. It's my fucking passion. They don't even pay me.
I really want to make your bed with you in it.
Yeah, come on, I'll tuck you in. Do you want a bedtime story? Do you want a bedtime story? How about a German fable about the cleaner who never fucked off? It's my favourite story, personally. There's no morals in it apart from she just does not fuck up. But by the way, the story doesn't end either. It's just this until you let me clean your room and tuck you in.
We've been waterboarded by cleaners.
Oh, yeah. Next time it happens.
Six times it is total.
Genuine. And yeah, and not 3 in each room. 6 times for your room while I've been here every 15 minutes. Clean? No!
Just for the record, he wasn't here when I was in my boxers.
No,
them two knocks were... all right, you're onto it. We're gay. Sorry, go on.
No.
I was going to say Natalie flagged up from the previous podcast that we were inherently sexist.
Were we?
Mm-hmm. We defaulted nurses to female. You're
well,
licking out all of the nurses in your bit.
Oh, you can lick a
guy out.
Yeah, you can.
Lick out a guy's gooch.
Aye.
When he finishes his shift as a nurse.
Oh, fair point. Well, you know, I accept that.
That's where like I do have that inherent sexism where like I'll assume the pilot's a male and stuff. I'll assume the surgeon's a male. I have to really like reroute that in my brain.
Yeah, but I think sometimes that sort of discrimination can be not necessarily positive, but not negative. Like I used to have a bit and I could never fucking get it working, which is I would feel so much more confident with a non-white doctor.
You would.
Yeah, like if I'm getting surgery, right, I don't want it to be from some guy called Trent who studied at fucking Oxford, right, grew up in Lincoln, right, and he comes along and he's doing surgery and he's learned it all just over the years. I want a brown person that like learned in a war zone how to sew a leg back on.
And just somebody whose religion hints that they don't drink and take drugs.
Yes.
Because your white doctor took acid in uni.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, we spoke about this the other day. I can't remember who. Oh, it was to some of the people we met backstage, and one of them was like, "Oh, I'm a surgeon." And I'm like, "Oh, so you're a psychopath?" He's like, do you think all surgeons are psychopaths? I'm like, 100%, without fail.
He actually did have that kind of that coldness about him that he wouldn't be like, because you would. That's the thing with being a surgeon. You'd get ick the minute you cut into someone. It's hard to watch it on telly when it's fake.
It's a good level of psychopathy to have, and it's the right way to channel it, right? Look, if your thing is, I want to fucking cut people open and see how they work.
Just want to see what's inside.
And I want them to be unconscious, right? I want them to be under, and then what I want to do, with this really sharp blade, I want to cut them open, get all like blood out of the way, see where their lung is. And because I've looked at heaps of lungs, so many lungs, I've just live ones there, I reckon I'll know how to fix it. Good. That's way better than you doing that to cats, you fucking psycho. I'm glad you're not doing that to unconsenting people in hotel rooms. You've used it for good. Well done.
You're not getting the cling film out and you're just day-to-day life.
I couldn't be a fucking surgeon. Like, if I bleed, I nearly faint.
I wonder how many surgeons actually like have got like a bit of a visceral reaction and they've just getting over it. I wonder how many have actually spewed when they've done stuff. I wonder how many have just been in this gross situation with like fucking blood and insides and all that, and they're just like the smell and that just
like they nick the colon and just all the smell of shit comes out and they go bleh, and then they just spew on your spew. And then when you come out, you spew, and you're like, I didn't have gummy bears today. And they're like, oh, I did. Sorry,
one of us
I spewed in your stomach, sorry.
I wonder if anybody's been spewed into during surgery.
100%. I also think there's definitely people who have died from surgical complications, and those complications was somebody fainted with a scalpel in their hands. Like they went da, 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 and forward straight in. And they're like, well, we'll just have to tell them that she had a bad reaction to the anaesthetic.
Remember the Muff sketch that we did that we didn't use in Muff, but we used it as a trailer? And Natalie was a surgeon, and it was Britain's top heart surgeon, and it was like the public could come in and
just
do surgery. And we had them like just fucking screaming while they were doing it and crying and that mid-surgery.
Aye. Speaking of Lincoln, can you remember that man who we killed name?
We killed a man.
We did kill a man after the show on Monday.
Oh, Zack.
That's it.
R.I.P. Zack.
Zack, if you're listening, we're very glad you're healthy and you're okay.
I mean, I hope you are. If you're listening, surely.
Yeah.
From a hospital bed.
So, we had a show in Lincoln on last year's tour, which I just completely cancelled.
Why do you keep saying Lincoln?
Because it was Lincoln.
Is it not Offenbach?
No, that's where we were, but he's from Lincoln.
Oh, got you.
So we had a show in Lincoln last year, Well, in fact, we didn't have a show. I cancelled the show because it was when I was just at the fucking end of it, and I cancelled like 5 dates. And I'm saying, Marley's like, what do we tell people? I'm like, you can tell them honestly. You can tell them that I'm worked to the end, and I'm overbooked. I'm overbooked, and I'm just not doing it because it's not going to be good for my mental health. And Lincoln is one of the places on tour that's always actually been like weirdly good.
We've got the engine shed.
Yeah.
And we've progressed up the room sizes until the big one.
Yeah, and also like the people have just like sort of kept coming back. I don't know if it's because it's particularly
there's been like a loyalty since pre-Netflix.
Yeah.
Lincoln.
And it's one of the places where, because the English tour gets shorter and shorter every year because of reasons, because that's how I want it to be. Lincoln is one of the weird ones where I'm like, but that definitely stays on the list. Keep that there.
So your boy Zack
comes to the show. Comes all the way from Lincoln. He's like specifically came to see the show because and have a little holiday to himself. And during the show, I'm doing my bit about hating the English, and because I'm not in England, I get to ham it up and perform it how I do in the rest of the world. And the rest of the world goes, "Oh, we hate them too," and we all have a laugh about it. And someone yelled out, a very English voice went, "We hate you too." And I kind of snapped just a little bit. And I think it was just because it was before the Boris Johnson fucking vote. So I was already...
Yeah, that was happening while you were on stage.
I was already wound up by that fucking cunt. I'm already fucking wound up by the fucking Jubilee. And I'm just like...
England are about to play Germany.
Yeah, just like, I've just been injected with heaps of animosity. And he yells out, "We hate you too." Which, hey, funny fucking heckle. Well, not funny, but, and it wasn't animosity.
It was just letting you know there's also an English person in the crowd.
Yeah. So I fucking stabbed, and then obviously just called Boris Johnson a cunt, and then laughed at his mum being dead.
And then you sung God Save the...
I sung God Save the Mum of a Nonce, and then at the end of it basically went, "That's you, that is." That was the extent of my very clever rebuttal.
And if you think that was the murder, that was not the murder.
No, it was... Now, you see what I did there is, the heckle retort got a round of applause because heckle retorts always do, 98% of the time, unless it's fucking the worst thing in the world, you will always get an applause break for just putting someone down.
Even if you just say, "Shut up, dickhead," a lot of people just go, yeah, shut up, dickhead.
Yeah. Do you know what I didn't do? I didn't film it and then put it on TikTok.
I've done this before.
And then when comedian destroys a heckler.
I've done this before. You got me. Crossfire. There's me in the crossfire.
There is a comedian who will remain nameless and unfamous and unsuccessful.
He will remain shameless.
Because of how fucking shit he is. He's just one of the right wing grifters. He's also religious. If you're a comedian of any fucking faith, get out the game. What are you doing? You're not a free thinker. Fuck off. This cunt believes in God, believes in the Tories, believes in the Queen, loves it all. And one of his fucking pathetic videos online is him destroying a heckler. I swear to fucking God, right? It's just somebody going, this isn't good. Like, you're not good at comedy. And he goes, "Shut up, Karen." And then he drops the mic. With 100% sincerity.
He mic dropped, "Shut up, Karen."
Karen! Like, that's now a boomer insult.
That's dated.
Yeah.
Very funny.
After I've calmed down, I'm like, I probably went maybe a little bit too harsh. I wasn't angry at that man. I was angry that I was thrown off my timing, and I've got other things on my mind. But you know what? He took it well, and you can never ask. If that's, for me, like, one of the better times to heckles. They do it, they get slammed, and they go, "All right, I'll not do it again." But I've got my thing, and also I enjoyed being insulted. Some people do.
Some people, if you put them down well enough, they think they got the laugh.
Yeah, which is...
And they think they're now part of a double act.
Yeah, and they're like, I'll help you with future jokes. And you're like, you're just making the show worse and you're making me angrier. So after the show, we're meeting fans, and Zack comes up, he's like, "I'm the English guy, sorry for shouting at it." And I'm like, "Oh no, man, sorry if I went too harsh."
Absolute sweetheart of a boy as well.
A fucking big, gentle fucking giant of a bloke. And we met two Irish guys, because of course we did. We're in a foreign country.
We're anywhere in the world.
Yeah. And they brought some spliff, and it was really good spliff. Like, I remember after the fucking the first puff, I was like, "Oh, this is going to get me high," and that's a decent bit of weed.
Yeah, and then there's a Brazilian lass who chucked a spliff in the mix as well.
Aye, great.
So there was like a couple doing the rounds in this circle of about like 8 or 9 of us.
Yeah, and what I do is just what you do, you smoke and you pass on the right. That's what happens. So I take a couple of puffs, I pass it to Zack, and I can see in the moment, right, there's this look on his face where, without being up my own arse, this is what happened. So, someone he really liked, right? Like a air quotes celebrity who he's a big fan of, who he's watched heaps of. He listens to the podcast. He comes to the show. He's seen us for years. He loves me.
He's just offered you drugs.
And you're like, oh,
I don't respond well to drugs.
But
I've got history. I tried it once in high school.
yeah, and it's not for me. I don't really like the way it affects me. I don't really smoke that much. It's not my thing.
Spun me out then, but I might have grown now. I can't pass up the opportunity
to smoke with one of my favourite stoners. Man, if
Muggins and cream.
Yeah, if Snoop Dogg offered me heroin, I think I'd give it a bash. Like, you just go, oh, I'm gonna have to. So I see this sort of look at his face, and I'm like, just mentally just being like, just take one puff and pass it on. And fair enough, he fucking does. And then I'm high and I'm like, let's keep these going round. And we keep smoking and smoking and smoking. It gets to the point where I'm like, I am so comfortably blazed right now.
It was good stuff as well. I was chatting away to people, and I was finding myself in that pocket where you forget what you're talking about, but you keep talking to find out.
Yeah, you're like, hopefully my brain will remember what the end of this conversation is.
Yeah.
And also, you're too high to correct me, or
just play a game with yourself. Don't say I forgot what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Just stop yourself from saying that.
I do that all the time. I've just got to tap out. Anyone that listened to my solo podcast will know how often.
What was I talking about again?
What's I saying?
You've done it a couple of times, like in the recent podcast, where you're like, you just talk. I forgot where I'm going.
Yeah, I forgot what I'm saying.
And that's when you're not high.
And I've got no idea why. If only there was some cause that we could work out why my memory is bad.
So bear in mind that we in this circle getting high are already like digging our heels in, trying to stay on the ball as it's trying to knock what off. Mm-hmm. But we've been on this ball before. It's ours.
And Zack's gone quiet, and I'm just like, well, of course he's gone quiet. He's listening. He's listening to two professional comedians
trying to remember what they're talking about.
This is a dream come true for him. He's like, oh my god, it's like being in the room. And then we thank everyone for coming. We do the photos, we do the hugs, and then
we just both look at Zack and he slid down the wall. Like, his feet stayed planted. His back went against the brick wall, and his jacket and jumper just rode up his back with friction as he just rooted himself to the spot.
And he just falls down, and we're like, hey, buddy.
And I shook his hand. I was like, congratulations on the whitey, young'un.
No, the Egyptian lass was fucking class. She was like, look, he's not in a good...
Brazilian,
sorry. He's not in a good space. What do we do? And I'm like, Zack, do you know where your hotel is? He's like, I know exactly where my hotel. It's like a 10-minute walk that way. And I'm like, man, you're not walking to the hotel. We'll get you a taxi. And have you got money? He's like, yeah, I'm really embarrassed. I'm like, there's nothing to... Well, I was like, there is a bit to be embarrassed about, but this happens. But people fucking whitey. This happens. I've got heaps of fucking whitey stories. That's how you learn your limits on weed. And one of the worst things that's going to be worse for you in your head right now is the paranoia. You're going to be replaying things over, and you think you're handling it badly, and that's just feeding into it. Take a couple of big breaths. Here, have some water. I promise you, in 10 minutes you'll be fine. He's like, this is going to be on the podcast. I'm like,
yeah.
Well, of course it's going to be.
Enjoy that. Enjoy that.
It's going to be on the podcast.
Look, exactly. I know you're listening. So, don't overthink it. Don't let it be an intrusive thought that makes you go, oh God, why am I like this? Don't let it ever. Like, all you could do with this now is just laugh at how funny that situation was. It was really funny.
You didn't spew.
The joke was on you, but like, just still have the laugh.
Yeah, you did.
There's been a million times in my life where the joke's been on me, and I've been able to find it funny. So.
And
he didn't spew, not in front of her. But you know what was funny? I went to get the water for him, and I come back out, and you were like asking him about his hotel, and there was like this kind of scrum of people around him, just welfare checking and that I had to battle through to give him his water, and I just went, well, Zack, at least you're not being crowded. That would make you paranoid. Imagine just like the little moments of clarity you have during your whitey where you look up and you just see everybody like faces of concern on a panoramic.
One of my biggest like whiteys, and it wasn't not white, but like the most insanely high I've ever been, was first time I ever did comedy in America was I did Setlist. I did the Setlist TV show, and it was filming out in LA. And
I think it went out on Sky Atlantic, didn't it, over here?
Yeah, I think so. So I went over there to do the film and was very, very excited. Did the show. I think it went well. I don't remember that much of it, but I think it went well enough. I only remember like Rob Delaney being on, but fucking Paul Provenza and Troy were there. And I was just, and Babs Roman, so I'm just enjoying the company of all these people. And one of the sound techs, he's like, "Have you ever tried Californian weed?" And I'm like, "No, man." And this is,
mate, this is every European, every single European fucks it going to LA. I've been to Amsterdam. What are you gonna do?
oh man, exactly that. I've smoked Amsterdam weed. Oh, have you? Have you had a fucking shandy? Right. Well, welcome to fucking tequila, motherfucker. Like this is like back in the days when it's still like medical, so it's like medical grade marijuana. And I'm so used to what we smoke, joints. But I mean, at this time in my life, I didn't even smoke blunts. It was just weed with heaps of tobacco in it. And this guy comes out with a bowl. Like a fucking pipe, and I'm like, what's that? He's like, it's a bowl, and I'm like, you smoke all of that? He's like, yeah, man. And I take a fucking puff, and like for 3 minutes, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that's kicking in fast. And then I think it was like 20 minutes in, Marlena was like, please don't think I'm being rude or micromanaging here, but it's probably best that we get you home. And I was like, why? She's like, your eyes are insanely red.
Is that the picture?
That's the photo.
The meme?
The meme.
The meme where it was like everyone just kept putting on your face, I can taste colours.
Yeah. I basically became a meme because we get back to the fucking hotel. I fucking stink of
God, I'll try and find their memes and just post dump them on the Patreon.
Aye, because I look unbelievably high. I look like, you know that fucking meme of that like little guy that's the original like 2 stones meme.
It's the picture that we use for the Your Dad tier.
Is it? There you go.
Because I've got pictures of you looking ridiculous because I know you'll never look at it.
I mean, I'm
Did you not know that?
No.
Oh, when people get to subscribe, there's pictures.
I couldn't tell you any of our tiers. I couldn't tell you how they work. I don't know what Patreon looks like. I don't know if it's a website. I don't know how you sign up to it. But thank you for listening.
Yeah, cheers. We need to start. We need to backdate the prize draw again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I haven't got it set up to do now because I need to get everybody's names. So when we're back on the next Patreon episode, we'll just give away a shit ton of merch.
Aye. And you can win the chance to come and smoke with us, you fucking lightweights.
Oh man, I remember.
Oh, John, sorry. Let me just get to the end of this, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm fucking baked out my melon, man. But the guy's also given me like a little like indica joint, and he's like, this one's a bedtime one because I'm so high, and I'm like, just go to sleep. But it's a fucking it's a sativa, so I'm just in my bed, and I'm like, I'm really high, like, and I'm having fun. Like, I know I'm safe, and I've got the fucking munchies and stuff, but I definitely want to like go out and just like, what I'll do is I'll smoke this indica, and that'll make it better. Put on my clothes, go downstairs, and I'm outside, and I take like 3 puffs of that, and I'm like, just have some fresh air now. And a bus pulls up. Right, I must be near a bus stop, and the door opens, and this woman goes, "No, he doesn't." And I'm like, "What?" She's like, "I can't believe." No, he doesn't.
To you?
To me. And I'm looking behind me, and looking around, and I'm like,
"What did you have on your t-shirt?"
That old shirt that Ricard gave me
Sweden.
From Sweden, with the Hank Moody quote on it. God hates us all. Right?
Nice. Good t-shirt.
Aye. So I'm just out there wearing this. But there's no context. I'm just wearing this shirt. And I go, you forget how fucking religious Americans are. We're like this bus driver.
So she wasn't like having a bit of banter with you. No, he doesn't. She was like, no, he doesn't.
Yeah.
And you were like, fuck off, Karen, and then make drops.
Aye. And it took me so long. And because she was like, she wasn't like angry, but she wasn't fucking happy. Like, it was like I was questioning her fucking faith. And I was like, I don't know. She's like, it's not a good shirt. And I'm like, okay, sorry, I'll change it. Went to my bed in my shirt.
So
prayed for forgiveness. Didn't get it.
Did you not get forgiveness?
Nah. The fucking first time I've prayed, I was like, God,
if this is you being punished, I'd love to know what forgiveness looked like.
Oh, I think he's just giving me a good life now. So when I go to hell, he's like, "Hey, you toured Germany, man. Be real, like nobody else." Nobody else.
Nobody's done it before.
Nobody else has toured
Changed the
Germany.
game.
You've got to change the game. Nobody has ever. What about all these other people who've previously toured Germany? Huh? Yeah, but they didn't do it in the way I did it.
It wasn't so much of a whitey. It was for Natalie, and it wasn't for me when I was in LA. And it was like we took the edibles and then had a spliff, and then Natalie
that was all her fucking fault. That was all her fucking fault.
And I was like, edible hasn't kicked in yet. What you doing? Like. We went on being chickens.
It was exactly that.
Such masculinity. We should have just went, nah, let the
we should have been more responsible. And the same thing that I should have been with Zack, I should have been like, hey man, have you smoked weed before? And he would have been like, not much. And I could have been like the weed guru and been like, hey, have one puff, and if you feel fine in 10 minutes, have another one. Don't feel you have to keep up to our rate. To Natalie, we should have had the presence of mind to be like, no, like edibles notorious to take a while to kick in. There's no point double dosing it. It'll just make us worse. It's always going to be there to smoke. But I think she literally just went, thought you were stoners. And we're like, all right, we'll smoke all of it then. We'll smoke all of it and we'll ruin all of our fucking days then.
We're talking as that. We're talking as like, game on, bitch. You're fucking not going to smoke this with me, you cowards. We took it like that. When we should have went, oh shit, you're not managing your dosage, babes.
That's the name of the podcast. You're not managing your dosage, babes.
That's for you, Zack. So we're fucking lounging by the pool. Natalie clams up, and I try to talk my way out of it. Like, I just try and talk more, but I'm still struggling to fucking find myself because my life's in like 3-second flashes. So I'm struggling to hang on to anything that takes more than 10 seconds, like a conversation. So it's making me go quiet too, and I'm just like fucking wanting it to pass, and I'm doom scrolling on my phone even though I'm in company just because I need something to try and like input that's gonna land. And I just fucking get snapped out of me like fucking trance by Chris Martin going, oh Kai, will you go and help thingy? And it was just one of his neighbours, this American guy, right? And he's just like, oh, he just needs a hand with a washing machine. Right? And I thought fucking he wants to move a washing machine. Right? He's looking at you and then just went
He's looking at me at this point in my life where I'm like skinny lying on the lilo, blazed as fuck. He's like, well, that's a useless week, man. Getting sunburned.
Yes.
I'll not interrupt.
So he picked me to help his neighbour with the washing machine. I don't know where I am at this point. I'm fucking run the pool in like an apartment complex in LA off me fucking syrup. Whacking into this guy's house, end up like fucking ankle deep in water, plodging around and all that, right? And then he's pulled out the washing machine and he shows just behind it. And I was like, the fuck do you expect me to do with that? As I was like, what am I meant to do with that? And he was like, well, Chris thought you'd be able to fix it. just because you're that working class. That's exactly what happened.
It's like, Kai, you've had dishwashers break before and washing machines break before, because you're working class, you obviously couldn't afford a new one. What did you do to fix it?
Yes.
Like, you know that third-hand washing machine that you must have fixed at some point in your impoverished life?
It's not a bad show because most of my mates are really capable men.
Yeah.
Like, all me mates back home, like fucking, like me brother, like me dad, like
Ricketts,
me two mates.
Ricketts.
Ricketts, Soppit.
Yeah, Ricketts made
Rouge.
a fucking full van into like one of those fucking travel vans with a cooker on it. Built the whole thing himself. Not the van, he got the van and did everything else.
He'd give it like a proper Pimp My Ride makeover. And so yeah, like I'm just surrounded by all these fucking capable blokes. Which means I don't have to be that capable because I'll just get one of my pals.
Yeah, it's like one of my worries is, man, I don't know how to use. I can use computers, but I'm not a computer person at all. Like I can turn them on. I can fucking download games in them. I can type. I'm not. What? How do you open email? Shit, but. If there's a problem with my computer, there's nothing I can do to fix it because it's always been my dad that fixes it.
Having someone around you that's like good with cars or good with it doesn't make you better at it because you're learning from them. You have to be really proactive about that. It makes you incompetent because you rely on them.
And at one point, my wonderful, wonderful father is going to pass, and my son is going to be like, "Dad, can you fix my computer?" I'll be like, "No, I'll just ask." So you want a new computer? Because, like, unless, or just phoning up Matthew being like, how much did Dad teach you? Are you the one he passed on the wisdom to? No.
We should really tap up them resources. Really, like we should be learning when they're running fixing stuff forward. We should be over the shoulder again. How do you do this?
Well, you know what? I did install a socket with my dad, like as an adult. Yeah, when I was getting the Japanese toilet seat put in, we needed an electrical socket in the wall, and I was like, I don't want to do this. Can you come in? He's like, I'll do it with you, and it was great.
That's the way.
Yeah, I was like 30 at the time, but it was a really nice moment where I was just learning and building with my dad, and I'm like, oh, I feel 13. It's like really nice.
Feel fulfilled.
That was also when we were high. Natalie was so baked. I'm sure we've told this bit of the podcast, but I love it so much. She goes, just while she's trying to have conversation to get out of it, she's like, Daddy, I read a book that you'd love. And I was like, oh yeah, all right, yeah, what's it about? And she just went, dentists.
And then just stopped.
And I was like,
no synopsis.
Anything else? She's like,
no blurb.
Nah. I'm like,
fucking love.
What hold on, give me your head. Let me open up your brain. Let me see what that connection was. Danny, dentist. He's fucked the dentist. Maybe that's it. Danny Dental Dan? Is that it? That's your nickname for me that you've never used? Fucking, I can't see.
I love how small your brain is in this. If anyone's watching it on YouTube.
It's not my brain, that's Natalie's.
You're holding a tiny brain.
Yeah, it's a woman's brain.
Oh.
Yeah, there's your fucking sexism. I'm like a fucking broad.
Cool. Didn't mean that. I'll delete that here.
Sorry, honey.
Delete what?
I hope he is not dead. Because we didn't put him in the taxi. We trusted the...
Oh, that's what I was going to ask you, because you were still with him. I don't know how the story ended. Because I was getting all our shit from backstage into the car while you were...
I left...
While you were being a paramedic.
I left as the taxi was coming towards us, and she was like, that's the taxi. And then also there's like, you know, if you're embarrassed about something, or if somebody's embarrassed, there's very little you can do to get them out of that, especially if they feel you're the one that they embarrassed themselves in front of. Like I'm like, man, I'll just leave and wipe my hands with you.
Yeah. So reach out to Zack. Just let
us know you're okay.
That's what I was going. Is he gonna one bill you? Did he used to do that one bill? Just because you don't want to waste any of your credit, but like if you get when you get to a place safe, you just one bell a person, so it makes the phone ring. But then you hang up before they pick up, because a text would cost like 10 pence, 12 pence. Did you ever just like live at the bottom of your credit on your phone?
Oh, like well, yeah, when texts could only be like 140 characters.
120?
Was it 120?
Yeah.
Aye, that's why you develop text week, and each text costs anywhere between fucking 2 or 10p to spend. You get a tenner on your card. And your friends will be
like... You'd always get like how much credit alert you've got left, so it'll go like you've got £9.48. And you would feel like a baller with that kind of money on your phone.
Is this how you start being old?
Yeah, yeah.
Aye. Is this just what it is?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's you get like a generation of people that like this is news to.
Yeah, and they're like, no way, you used to live like that?
They like, why would they know that? They've got no reason to know it, so let's talk them through it. You get your scratch card from the corner shop.
Aye.
And it gives you like this fucking 16-digit code that you pump into your phone. Like you ring the number, pump it into your phone, and then it'll top your phone up with credit.
Yeah, and it takes you being like, you've got £10. And you can text your friends being like, hey, and you'd text girls. And you had to keep them short, because sometimes if you sent 2 long messages, it would split over 2 messages, and that costs you 2 fucking texts to send.
So that's why we
developed text speak. That's why the things were shortened down.
So when Elliot's using it now, there's no reason for that. He's just being thick. There's absolutely no reason for it at all. So you would be able to store, like, say, 15 messages. I don't know what the number was, but it wasn't a lot, right? So you would want messages like, I don't know, you've got like a raunchy one off your lass. And you didn't want to delete that.
Aye.
And then you've just got like one off one of your mates who's deed new. So you didn't want to delete that.
And there's also, there was like little chain message ones, right, which would be using like parentheses and colons and semicolons. It would be like a little bunny rabbit, and then if you pressed right, the bunny rabbit would look like it was hugging, and that was like you people were able to make weird ass fucking images out of all
out
these
of brackets,
and send them through
like sexual kind of ones as well. So like you'd have stuff like that saved on your phone, like important shit, unimportant shit that you don't want to delete, and then like something that might have like vital information on it, and then you'd have like 3 spare messages. So someone will text you and you had to read it and delete it, because otherwise the envelope in the top corner of your screen would flash.
Aye.
Saying that like it was full. And
if you were a part of the Nokia 33 or 3310 crew, you could take your covers off your phone,
express on covers,
and then put on different covers.
On the 5110 you could get different aerials. And you would get an aerial that like flashed when your phone was about to ring.
Fucking aerials, man. That's so mad.
Aye, kids, you're not going to believe this, but I had a satellite dish on my phone.
Yeah.
But there was a generation before us who, like, only the rich had ones where you could, like, pull the fucking cord up.
Yeah.
Oh, can you mind getting one of them in the house? I remember when our house phone went cordless, before mobiles like really kicked on, and had an aerial, and you could go into the other room on the phone, like you go into the bedroom to fucking phone your lass. Yeah. Whoa. Hot. You'd be like, what you doing?
And then what you'd do is you'd go on the dial-up internet. You had to make sure nobody else in the house was using it, and then you'd type in Nokia 3310 ringtones, and what it would do,
give you the codes.
You could compose your own
polyphonic.
You could compose your own ringtone using the keys, and what some people had fucking worked out was, here, if you type in 1113332219876 blah blah blah, this entire fucking number, hash hash hash, it's the Harry Potter theme tune, and you're like, yes, that'll go really well with my Harry Potter phone cover. God, I'm gonna get so fucking laid.
Mine was the Axel F one, the Beverly Hills Cop. Actually, that got made more recent by Crazy Frog, didn't it?
Yeah.
It got Do you know
Crazy Frog. Sorry, you've just given me what a horrible time to be alive that was. That was just the fucking worst. Mm-hmm. Was that not the worst thing that ever fucking happened? Which is, for some reason, the general masses, the general fucking public could not get over a silly voice. And I know what it fucking started as. The Crazy Frog originally was a chain fucking email, right? Which was like, try not to laugh, forward. And it was just a picture of a stationary race car with somebody making the noise and doing the crazy note. Yeah. And then some fucking company.
And then they just got the same way James Corden got after Gavin and Stacey.
Yeah.
He just got ballooned. He got ballooned and he shouldn't have.
And I can't remember who the fucking Crazy Frog company was, but like that was it. You could just download it. You could get images of the Crazy Frog on your phone. God,
can you remember Mr. Wazzo?
Who?
Mr. Wazzo.
No.
That was like, I'm sure it was like a fucking filthy banger, but there was just this like kind of yellow man that was dancing to it. And I didn't want to put it in the same bracket as Crazy Frog because it was less annoying. But you don't remember that?
No.
Yeah, is that before you? I'll show you after.
I do.
I ended up getting this new phone, right? So you have the Nokia 5110, which I believe is the one with the aerial, and then you get the 3210, which is the one that has back and front covers on it. It's a bit more compact. It's got Snake 2 on it.
I had a 3310.
And then after that, so everybody went from having the same phones to just these new phones around, and I got this Samsung one which had like a circle blue screen on the front that told you the time, right? And it flipped open. And it had your screen, and it was just still like the Nokia, but smaller, compact, with this like fucking cool flap open. I thought it was such a baller having that. And what happened is there's like a little green blinking light on the top of it, and it's just steady, and it blinks every like 3 seconds, right? But if you've got a text, it's a red light that flashes every second. And it's so belter when you're like at work and you come into the staff room and you can see the red light blinking. You're like, oh, I've got a text. Because you know how now you wouldn't be like buzzed by getting a text. You look at your phone and going, of course.
Yeah, somebody's been in
there's like a fucking million WhatsApp groups going like and pinging and fucking messages on all kinds of platforms and shit. But at the time, you're like, oh, someone spent 12p on us. Somebody used their credit on little old me.
And this is before the days when there was any possibility that it was a text from Domino's. Like it was from a genuine person.
Was that always from a person?
The person that you knew.
Like it's when
you always had to say please TB at the end of texts to your crush, because otherwise, how would they know to TB?
Text back.
How would they know if you didn't say please TB? Who's going to TB?
We used to ask people to text back.
Oh.
Guys, you think we're cool? You think we're cool? We used to, at the end of text messages, ask girls to text us back.
No, you asked, I begged.
Please TB. Please TB. Would some names PLS? PLS TB.
Yep. Oh no, I do have some coolness in me. PLZ TB. Plus TB.
Please TB. God,
they never TB'd.
Nah, never did. Oh, that was brutal when lasses didn't text you back.
Oh yeah. And was most of my teenage years. I think that's why I became such a man whore in my 20s, was just because something that I felt that I'd never gotten in my life before. I'm like, well, this can go away at any opportunity. Shag, like it's horny 15-year-old Daniel who girls won't TB. Go out, live your life.
If you had the option, if somebody come in now, probably the cleaners, right? Let's just assume it's the cleaners, right? They come in and they just went, we found this artifact from the past and it was your fully charged Nokia and it had all your texts on. 5 of them, 10 of them, whatever. No, like, obviously memory storage isn't a thing in this hypothetical. You could read all of your Nokia-based text, would you?
No, I think I would cringe into such a small ball of self-loathing that I would actually create a black hole in the centre of Offenbach and we would all die. And I'm gonna, as much as I hate the human race, I'm not ready to wipe it out.
Nah. So you couldn't read them, because I've passed on that opportunity before, not with my phone, but my dad was like, I've dug the fucking old PC out of the loft and I've managed to get like data off it, like any documents he had stored and stuff. And he's like, you and Gav have got a profile on it, and it's just got like all your stuff off your desktop, and it's got your like it's got your MSN conversations stored on an archive. Do you want them? And I was just like, oh, delete that, and then burn your hard drive.
And don't tell anyone what you just told me. Oh man, the desperation.
It was in recent years as well. It was only a couple of years ago, and fuck me, I don't think I would have liked reading it.
Not at all.
I don't think I would have liked reading that at all.
Yeah, no, I definitely got. I did most of my flirting on MSN Messenger, and it was like teenage, awkward flirting. I used to do really cringe stuff. This is like, you know, those moments when you're in the shower and your brain just goes, "Remember this thing you did?" And you go, "Oh, I wish I was dead, so I didn't have this memory." I fancied this girl in my acting class, and it was like the weekend, and my parents were away, so it was just me in the house, and I was messaging her on like MSN Messenger. And I was trying to find out if she fancied me. She didn't. The end of all these stories is the girl didn't fancy me. So what I did was I pretended to be a friend of mine and be like, "Oh, Daniel's..."
Do you make a fake account?
No. Just be like, "Oh, I'm staying over at Daniel's tonight. He's gone downstairs to get..."
You text from your MSN on your behalf from your friend. Yeah. Which friend did you make it?
Oh, Sean.
Is there a Sean?
Yeah, there is a Sean. He does exist.
You slandered Sean. You owe Sean an apology.
I think I even tried to type like how he would type. I'm like, oh god, she's gonna know. She knows how I type. Sean's a bit stupid, so I'll misspell some words.
Just putting stuff like per se, stuff that you wouldn't say.
Oh god, that's horrible.
That is brutal.
Oh god, I'm gonna be fucking sick. I think that maybe that's why I smoke so much. Why can that not be the memory that my marijuana fucking deletes out of my brain?
Aye. Just shite patter.
Maybe it has done. Maybe I've done way more fucking cringy things in my teenage years in the pursuit of...
But you know what? You're training to be an adult. You're not, like... Nobody should see... That shouldn't see the light of the day. You should never be judged on that. Like, how are you meant to figure out how to get on without just having a crack at it? And just going on, like...
Yeah, and just getting it, you know, it's like being a stand-up for the first time. You're like, oh, this is how I think you do it, and it's not, and you're not great at it, but you learn the bits that do work, and you keep those, and you get better. Yeah, I guess it's...
I'm an open mic, I've been a bloke. It's what teenagers are. Them bloke open mics. Teenage boys, that is. I just defaulted all teenagers to men.
Yep, they all are. But women, you get to choose to be a girl when you get to 16.
All that was, I can't speak on your behalf. I'm sure you were brilliant off the blocks. I'm sure.
Oh no, I reckon being a teenage girl is fucking hell, because as a boy you're like, right, I'm not hitting puberty as fast as everyone else is, or I've hit puberty way too fast, and like I look fucking weird. I'm tall. I'm getting taller. I'm getting ganglier. God, I'm horny. God, I've never been this horny in my life. There's no way to satiate all of this fucking horniness. And my main concern is, are some other teenage boys with their angst going to kick the shit out of me for no fucking reason? Or that, as opposed to being a teenage girl, which is like House of Cards level of spitefulness and planning and bitchiness and like social standings that like men aren't even fucking aware of. There's just like this hierarchy in the background,
and the fact that they've got to hang around with lads their age, even though they're more developed. Psychologically, physically, the works, right?
And they've got to hang out with a bunch of fucking orangutans.
With ropey little fucking ugh.
It really makes you think, what did women do in previous lives to deserve this?
They were men.
Maybe that is what life is. You get to do it once as a man, and you're like, oh, that was class. Thank you so much, God. And he's like, yeah, you enjoyed that, did you? Now for round 2. Oh,
I'm good at this game.
This is great. What do I get to be this time? A girl. No, moon man. Do you remember how you were to girls? Yeah. You're going to experience that all from the other end.
Oh, no, fuck.
No. I mean, I'll be fine when I'm 30, and they've all learned by then. Yeah, if you make it to 30. Oh.
It's just sad. Aye, we're doing a bit, and we're like, oh, man. Upset.
But maybe getting shagged is class.
I reckon it is.
Aye.
Looks like it is for them when I'm watching. From the cupboard.
Well, it must feel good. Like, man, if I did you up the shirt, it feels good. Then surely the hole it's meant to go in with the thing that's meant to go in there.
Doesn't Alfie Brown have a good routine about not having a clit, feeling robbed?
Yeah,
because he doesn't have a clit. If it's online, find it.
It'll be in one of his many specials, which are all available on YouTube. And Alfie is fucking truly one of the best.
World class. There's so many things that will not get experienced. So you never know what it's like getting fucked as a woman. You'll never know what it's like to breastfeed.
No. Well,
I'll never know what it's like to be a grandma. And I feel like that's what I was born to be.
To be fair, I'm not breastfed, but Caelan has definitely tried to suck. Or like in the early days when I was just holding him shirtless, he'd be like, "Oh, I know this position. Oh, buddy, no."
Like that Family Guy clip where Stewie wakes up and
Aye, that.
Excuse you.
What?
I mean, I don't know if this fantastic sound equipment, noise gate, stopped your fart there, but that was highly unprofessional.
Well,
this is a Patreon episode, Daniel. People have paid for this.
Yeah, well,
just because you can fart with good faith.
When was the last time you shot yourself?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I'm on to myself now. I don't fall for me pranks. I don't fall for my pranks anymore.
What do you mean?
The ones that can, this fart's going to be a rip, I can't have a gun of that. I'll be like, I pull my finger. Like, I'm going to fall for that one, so I'll go into the toilet.
Fool me 17 times.
I got
it's
the
like
toilet.
30, shame on you.
I'll get to the toilet, I'll pull my trousers down, I'll fart, and it'll just be a fart. And I'll be like, double bluff, motherfucker.
Fucking, that's gotta be, to be a fly on the wall.
It's the perfect place to be.
To walk into the toilet and just debreak yourself. to fart. Do you genuinely do that?
It's been known. It has been known. Not always, but hungover, bad diet.
Yeah.
A tap on the shoulder. Yeah, try this footage for size.
Yeah,
You'll be like, aye.
Yeah, I'll go do it in the most easily cleaned room. The one with the most wipeable surfaces.
Speaking of, what the fuck did you do in there?
Well, I took the the panini which the woman didn't cook.
I'll have that panini, please, and she just chucked it.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go, and put that on your armpit.
It was a sweet chili chicken one, and it had fucking shredded carrots on it.
Is that what it was? Like a slaw type thing? It's like you didn't just put it in the bin.
Flushed it in the toilet.
I mean, it was all over the toilet rim.
Yeah.
There's a spoon with loads of it on in the sink.
Look, the cleaners are fucking desperate to clean, right? And we've robbed them of the opportunity to clean 19 times today in what is their favourite room. So I've given them more of a job. I don't want to do it in my room because I don't want them to think I'm rude.
Brutal. I always leave my room quite clean. I'll clean that up before we're gone.
I tend to leave hotel rooms clean like at the end. The reason I don't want people coming into my room ever, it's because I live like a fucking slob. I'll kick over my bag, I'll floor my clothes on the ground, my shoes are all around the room because I'll clean it up and it all goes into the fucking same bag. But when I'm in there, I explode into a fucking hotel room, and I'm like, don't go see that.
Do you have good habits with like before bed sorting your shit out for the morning?
Yeah,
I'm really good at that on this tour.
Thanks to, I think it was one of the American tours where we were just stoned all the time. It was during a time when my fucking teeth were bad, and my dentist was like, "You
always about dentists, man."
I just wish I knew what that book was. You've thrown me.
The dentist, tidying your room, good habits in the evening.
Oh yeah. So my dad was like, "You definitely don't floss as much as you tell me you floss." I'm like, "No, like I get high and I drink wine and I forget." And it was during that American tour where I was just like, literally every night, regardless of what you do. So Stone Daniel got into the habit of it. And he's the one that will always brush his teeth. Sometimes sober Daniel gets to bed and he's tired and he's like, I'll do it in the morning. I'll do it when I can muster the strength. Whereas Stone and me is like, come on, we got a job to do, buddy.
Aye, I'll fucking love it when I've done myself that solid. Like, and it's no matter how fucked I am as well. Like that night where we broke Zack, we went back, drunk another bottle of wine, fucking had some whiskey or whatever, and then I come into the hotel room and like I thought I was gonna spew, and I just like kind of vomited into my mouth and then spat it into the sink, and I shat myself because it was red. And I thought it was blood, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I've been drinking red wine," and that was my only really memory from getting into my hotel room. But I woke up and everything was packed, all my shit was on charge, like my fucking teeth with me Invisalign braces were back in, and I was just like, I just woke up in the morning, I couldn't remember doing any of that, but like I just put one foot in front of the other and stumbled around my room, just sorting me shit out for the morrow.
Aye, good bloke.
Aye, proper good bloke, that guy, like, got a lot of time for him. That's why I keep getting him drunk.
Oh.
Big yawn.
Alright.
We've been doing plugs for this tour, but I think it's time now that we plug for the Edinburgh Fringe.
Oh, aye.
I'm going to be doing a show called Mischief on at 6:45 every day in August, apart from some of the Mondays.
And I am a big old coward. I'm doing anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour of new material at I think it's Just the Tonic venue. It's basically you know where the Pleasance is, like not the Pleasance in Bristol Square, like
the courtyard one.
Yeah, the Pleasance that's the Pleasance for the rest of the year. Like it's called the Pleasance for 12 months of the year, as opposed to Pleasance Dome, which is I guess maybe anyway. It's up the road from that. It's on it. I don't know when
Just
it's on.
the Tonic.
Yeah, but I don't know what time and I don't know what dates. But it's not every day. It's like fucking Wednesday to
and it's
Sunday.
It's you figuring out your new tour show, can't?
Yes, I getting it together and trying not to talk about my son. And inevitably talking about my son.
Oh, I've got stuff about Peggy.
Aye.
So you talk about what you know.
Yeah.
You put your own angle on it.
Aye.
It's a well-trodden track, but make it yours.
Yeah, but I just don't want to be compared to all of the lesser comedians. I've always been a groundbreaker. I'm really, really good. And if I do anything that's even like whatever anyone else considers to be good, then that's below average for me.
Well, that's going to be you plateauing down there. So yes, come see you at the Fringe if you're Edinburgh bound.
Aye.
And also tap us up for recommendations if you're going. Yep. In fact, keep tuned into the podcast and we'll dish out recommendations in the build up to the Fringe.
And thank you very much to everyone who came to this tour, because this is the last fucking podcast on this tour.
That's what it is. Aye. Next one, we've got a special guest, Chris Martin, who is the guy who thought I was going to be a good plumber, but I wasn't.
Yeah. And he's definitely going to tell a story about a horrible comment I made when we were all in Vegas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. Okay, tune in on Monday. If you're loving the Patreon, tell your friends, talk about it, spread the love, and we'll see you all on Monday.
Peace.